Hey everyone. If you clicked this video, you probably saw the title, which is Do You Need a Super Steel? And it's something I've been thinking about because you pay extra money on certain knives because they have this super duper high quality steel. But then if you're the kind of person who'll pay all that money because your knife has a super duper quality steel, you probably appreciate that sort of thing and you probably have more than one knife. You probably have two or three or 216. You probably have a lot of them. And if you have a lot of knives, you're probably not using them all that much because I was going to say you can only carry one at a time, but no, I kind of disproved that theory. So a lot of you might carry two knives, maybe three, who knows. But when you're making a cut, you can only use one knife at a time. So if you do get a high quality, high grade steel, it's, it's something that could be great to have in the long run. But how many of us are actually going to use it enough to really see the benefit of it? And if a knife comes in, let's say, I'm not even going to mention a particular one, but let's say super duper steel, and then it comes in, I don't know, I hate to say this, but a lesser steel, like 154 cm, which seems to be not as popular as it was, which is kind of strange. A lot of people pony up a lot of big bucks just because, and I've done this myself, because it's a super steel, it's a better steel. But are you ever really going to take advantage of that? You know what? I think for most people, the answer is no. Like, let's just say something like 154 cm. Are you going to have any problems with that knife that you wouldn't have with the super duper steel that might cost you another $100? I don't think so. Now you might notice that on the mat here, I have something near and dear to my heart. This is something you've probably seen. You've probably seen in my videos a few times, and probably seen them in the store. This is a Leatherman Wave. It is the original Leatherman Wave. Probably purchased it maybe 8, 9 years ago. I've used it quite a bit. As I've mentioned in the past, I used to be a landlord and had some rental units, and this thing was always on my belt. I did a ton of stuff with it, and you know, it was worth every penny I paid at the time. I think they were only like $70 or $75. It was worth every cent. And that knife blade, I've ripped up, cut up, and tore up more things with that knife blade. It's 420 HC. Now, for a lot of people who are really into knives and stuff, they might kind of look down on saying, "Oh, 420 HC. That's not as good as insert knife steel here." But I never felt I had a problem with it. I never felt I was lacking with it. Strop it, sharpen as necessary, and it works. And I started thinking about this because I lately I've been seeing that it seems like there are more models of knives that'll come in multiple blade steels, and they might come in, like, one good example is the Cold Steel Espada. I've actually been wanting an Espada, and when I first saw the cheap Espada, let's call it, it came in OS 8, and then there was the good Espada, air quote there, that was, I believe, S30V, and it's $400. Now, I'm pretty sure that if you buy either one of those knives, they come razor sharp, and the blades are, to the same spec, probably with blade thickness and the geometry and all that. One's OS 8, one's S30V. The OS 8 is going to be, it's probably going to wear out quicker from, regular usage, but it's also easier to maintain than, say, the S30V would be. Now, the other question here is, if you've ever seen a Cold Steel Espada, it's not really the most EDC friendly knife. It's a really cool knife, but how much use are you really going to get out of it? So does it really make sense to spend that extra like $250 on the S30V style? I don't know. I don't think so. Um, Same thing with some Protex I've bought. A lot of times, certain Protex will be 154 cm, and I've gotten like special versions of it that are in. Like, I recently got a Magna Cut version, which I was excited about. Then I got the what was it? An S30V Strider versus the 154 cm you usually see. You know what? The 154 cm is just as sharp as the S30V or the Magna Cut. It's just that for some of these steels, they're like the big new guy of the day, and people are interested in them. But I think a lot of it's just kind of marketing. I don't think it really makes a difference. I bought some Rough Rider knives that I've had on the channel recently, and I got to tell you, they came pretty darn sharp. They took a nice edge, and I've been using them, and I've been enjoying them. And for that matter, I bought some really nice Boker Traditionals. I paid $30 to $40 for them. Um, I believe those are, I want to say maybe like 440C. I'm not really sure about that. Work great. And for that matter, same thing with buck knives and case. I mean, they as far as I know, I don't see much where they use anything other than traditional stainless steels. Now, in the case of buck, I always hear people say, "Well, they do a wonderful heat treat," and I am not going to discount that or disagree with it. They probably do a wonderful heat treat, but really, any quality company can do that. Um, it's kind of almost like saying, "Well, it's a crap steel, but if you handle it right, it's okay." Well, it's not really a crap steel. For most people, it's just fine. And then I think for the people who do desire the higher end steels, I don't think you're ever going to use it enough to appreciate it. I almost think of it kind of like the person who wants a car that goes 200 miles per hour. When do you ever go 200 miles per hour? You're never really going to maximize it. I mean, it looks cool. It'll impress your friends. It's nice to say I have a car that goes 200 miles an hour, or you know that your car can go 200 miles an hour, but it's not something you're ever really going to test. Hopefully not. And if you are, I hope you're nowhere near me. But it's probably something you're not going to test. It's just one of those kind of, oh, it can do this. The same thing with these other blades. Are you ever really going to test them enough to see about the longevity and the performance of them? I don't know. I'm kind of to the point I'm not too impressed with that. And lately, one of my most frequently carried knives is a 154 cm, which is in today's day and age is kind of considered a mediocre steel. It cuts everything I need to cut. It's kept an edge pretty well. And like I said, I've been carrying some like inexpensive traditionals lately, and they take a nice edge. They do what I need them to do, and they were pretty reasonable. So just a little food for thought for you to think of. And if you guys are not familiar with the Wave, I will throw a link into the description. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Talk to you later.